Greetings everybody, and welcome once more to another live stream hosted by yours truly, Sumi Yellow. It is a pleasure to be here streaming for all of you, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, of course. And if that's not the case, unfortunately, well, that's what I'm here for. Well, we're gonna continue with our adventure through Professor Layton vs Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Hey, welcome to the stream, Will. It is a pleasure to have you here, my friend. You arrived just in time for us to continue with the game, so I wouldn't say you missed anything at all. I can stay for this? That's okay. It's still fantastic to see you. I appreciate everyone's company on stream, even if it's for a minute or for like an hour. I always appreciate people it's just showing up and saying hello. It always means the world to me, so thank you. And yeah, I guess spoilers are also a factor here, although this is chapter 2, I believe. We just finished the prologue last time, so we didn't get to do a lot since the chapters are kinda long. But yeah, if you do not want spoilers, I would say avoid this entirely. So oh, you're much more ahead than me. Okay, in that case, you should not spoil me then. I guess the tables have turned, as they say. My days may they be so fine, and then boom, yellow stream, it gets finer. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's much appreciated, obviously. But anyway, let's continue, shall we? Now on forward. Did you know Layton wears a hat? Well, so do I. Yeah, now I'm ready. Let's continue. Or should I wear this in the Professor Layton part, I guess? Working through a lot, hope I can finish up soon. Much more, all the support in the world to you, my friend. You got this, and you'll get through it. But anyway, did you know Layton keeps a gyat? Perhaps that will be revealed in this game, because I haven't seen that in the previous entries. But anyway, let's proceed, shall we? After flying clear across the Atlantic, we finally found ourselves in the ye olde London. Nick was stuck working... Okay, the sound effects start. Nick was stuck working right up to when we left, so he's kinda tired, but I'm pumped and ready to get my sightseeing on. Even though he said he was only here for that attorney exchange thing and wouldn't have to appear on court, we still ended up in court, and Nick said I'm the one that would jinx us. Looks like we'll be defending Espella. Alright, I'm ready and ready to go. Actually, the hat is covering the bottom screen a little, so I'll put it next to my name. Next to the channel name, right? Actually, I'll put it in the Twitter logo. That could be adorable in its own right. There we go. Glad the first part's over. That witness was quite a character. I bet he'd love to be the one in a crime drama. He'd end up making it a comedy though. This might be the most ironic statement in the game thus far. Phoenix Wright is definitely strongest when everyone in the courtroom is serious, to be honest. Well, honestly, every single character that I've met so far in the Phoenix Wright part seems out of a wacky, unfunny seasonal anime. I heard the poor Espella was found guilty because of his shaky testimony. But at least now it looks like we might be able to get Espella a not guilty verdict. Yeah, I hope that cheered Espella up a bit. I forgot about Darklaw. She's reading my newspaper. Maybe it's just me, but she doesn't look pleased. These tend to start the case one of Phoenix Wright with some light heartedness, but generally it's it's a more serious time. How much lightheartedness are we talking here? Because I would say just check last time's bot. That was borderline rough, honestly. But anyway, I've said I already talked about my first impressions. I'm here to see how things evolve or devolve or stay the same. We'll see. Oh, it's you. I appreciate your efforts, Mr. Wright. Thank you. But while I understand your drive to win this case... My drive? This is not the time for your personal ambitions. I told you before, didn't I? That Espela is pleading guilty and that you should accept the proposed punishment. Compared to Walkie-Talkie or Old Bag, maybe he was pretty tame, actually. Here's the thing. I have been told after last week's stream that this game felt like a Flanderization of the series. And it may not be the best as an introduction, which is kind of ironic considering this game was promoted in a way where it was supposed to hook people from, if you're a Professor Layton fan, it should hook you into wanting to try the Phoenix Wright games and vice versa. But it's still strange to me how they ease you into Layton at the beginning of this game, but when it comes to Phoenix Wright, they just thrust you into like the story like it's nothing. Like you're supposed to know what's going on. And it's absolutely jarring. But it worked for Layton. For Layton, they give him an introduction. They ease you into his style of gameplay. What his deal is. You get an idea what he's doing from the intro alone. His dynamic with Luke. Everything gets set up before you even get to the first puzzle. In this game, they just throw you into a Phoenix Wright case without knowing what happens. I do think you should have done the Phoenix Wright game before this. But if this is supposed to be an introduction for Layton or Phoenix Wright, honestly. And honestly, perhaps that is the case, but I guess we'll see. It was also when Phoenix Wright was in the middle of transforming its series after the trilogy. They did a bunch of them. I'm not gonna deny this. Before we continue getting into reviewer mode, let's continue. Let's continue with the game that's on screen. This incident has already been settled between our school and the police. But, Miss Darkla, Espela could be an innocent. Believe me, I will be in Espela's best interest if you end the trial as soon as possible. The more this trial drags on, the more traumatic it is for this poor girl. I'm sorry. She might be saying that she's guilty, but is she really? In any case, Mr. Wright, we don't want our school being shoved into the limelight because of this case. So if you could please refrain from picking up meaningless details such as that toy. Get this trial over with quickly. This is your client's wish, Mr. Wright. I understand. I'll do my best. I'm just gonna say, even if this wasn't an introduction, I just... It's a relief to hear that. Let's go, Espela. Yes, Miss Darkla. It's just tonally so different. What the heck was that all about? We've been busting our butts in there trying to prove that Espela is innocent, and she expects us to just give up now? Why are you yelling at me, Maya? But when you think about it, Darkla's acting is very strange. Her own pupil on trial, and she just stands around reading other people's newspaper. Yeah, what's she so busy reading about anyway? There's nothing about Espela in that paper. Was she checking that soccer scores or something? The break is almost over. We better go back. You know, to actually finish how I feel so we can actually continue, I'm just gonna say one more thing before we continue, because this is something that it's been on my mind and I forgot to mention in the last stream. As they say, the vibes are absolutely different. Even at its wackiest and strangest and whimsical, Layton always plays it straight. Layton always makes you take it seriously, and it works because the characters take it seriously. At least the way things were introduced in the Phoenix Wright chapter in the last stream, they introduced a bunch of things, and they just kept telling jokes about it. And jokes are fine, but they were like rapid fire jokes, and the sound effects and the wacky and the more wacky themes and everything. And so jokes are fine, but they really beat you over the head with them. To give you an example, when Johnny Smiles says, "Oh, I've been working in this job for 6 months and no one has questioned my methods," that's funny. That's a funny joke. That's fine on its own. But then Maya has to turn to the camera and say, isn't that a very short time, a short time to be working on something? Yes, it is. That is the joke. And that happened through that entire chapter. A character would say something weird, and either Maya or Phoenix would look at the camera and go, that's not actually how it goes. Well, that's so weird. It's what people complain about Marvel movie dialogue. They don't let the jokes flow. It's just pointing it out, and it got absolutely obnoxious. I just had to get that out of my chest. Anyway. Imagine if that happened in Layton. Imagine if that happened in Professor Layton. If, like, Aurora opened the Astron's legacy, that chamber with all the golems, and turned to the camera and said, "Wow, that's wacky." That would completely ruin the atmosphere. Completely. And that's what the entirety of the Phoenix Wright chapter was doing before. Hopefully the comments that this is a Flanderization are correct, because I am interested in trying those games, honestly. This might just be a rough introduction. Back to the game. Flinch looked really confident about the new witness. "I am Miss Bella's defense attorney. I'll stand by her no matter what." And we're back in trial, everybody. The court will now reconvene. Prosecution, is your witness ready? Of course, Your Honor. Bailiff, please bring her in. Witness, state your name and occupation.
My name is Olivia Raldente. The warm winds of the Mediterranean Sea carry the spicy scent of a seafood stew. A hot Sicilian stew that soothes the hearts of sailors braving the raging waters. Blessed be the Sicilian cuisine and il nostro mare.
Yes, Miss Aldente is employed as a cook in the fighter where the crime happened. A cook? That's, an interesting attire you're wearing, Miss Aldente. This is my work outfit. It gets very, very hot in the kitchen, you know. It will be a pleasant change after the chocoholic guard. He got up my nose. Nice to see the judge is remaining impartial. Miss Aldente discovered the defendant in the cargo hold when she went for supplies. She found the Spella? That would make her the crew member that Johnny saw fighting with the Spella. That is right, Mr. Wright. Miss Aldente was the first person to discover the intruder. Then she is the victim of the assault. Hit with a steel pipe. How cruel. If I'd only had my precious kitchen knife with me at the time. I have shown her my exceptional cutting skills. Nick, look at that. She's an expert potato peeler. You better watch out around her. I'll keep that in mind. Witness, we now hear your testimony. Describe to us what happened in the cargo hold. Certamente, gladly. Okay. I went to the cargo hold to check the supplies. It was past 10 p.m. And I found that girl idling and clutching one of them bizarro toys. She made as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed a pipe. She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge, but she hit me on the head, and I blacked out for a few minutes. According to the medical report, you suffered a laceration to your head, correct? Dad, it's covered by the chef so you can't see it now. But when I chop up veggies, it hurts in the rhythm of the strikes. Chop, chop, chop. That sounds most thorough, Miss Al Dente. Not often you get victim testimonies in Phoenix Wright. They mostly end up as corpses. Huh. I should have been more careful, but she looked like a little Piccola girl. Ali is much taller than Espella. Yeah, Espella's about the same size as you. I may be short, but I'm well proportioned, and that's what matters. Necessary. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to present the decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt. This is a photograph of the defendant's fingerprints on the steel pipe. As you can see, the fingerprints are very clear. They were left by the assailant. They have already been examined and found to be those of the defendant. Well, that settles it. This is undoubtedly this decisive evidence. What? The fingerprints on the weapon are Espella's? Just to put your inquisitive mind at peace, Mr. Wright, there were no other fingerprints. This photograph shall be added to the evidence. Photo of Estella's fingerprints on the steel pipe. Have I not warned you, Mr. Wright? Further examination is but a waste of time. Nick, what do we do now? This evidence clearly points to Espella. We're pleading that Espella is not guilty. And if she's innocent, then this witness is lying. All we need to do is expose that lie. I have to think straight and focus on finding the truth. The defense might cross-examine the witness. Okay. I found that girl Ellen clutching one of the missing toys. She made us away, so I tried to stop her, then she grabbed a pipe. Hold on a moment. Oh. I want to see the photo of the fingerprints. Look at how she was grabbing it. From the position of the thumbs, you can tell, she was either hugging the pipe or two people were grabbing it. There's no way someone could swing this thing being grabbed like this.
Objection!
You're claiming that the defendant swung the pipe at you. Well, that's impossible. Why do you say that, sweetie? The defendant's fingerprints were found on the pipe. However, there is a contradiction here. A contradiction? Impossible! That is most interesting. Well then, the defendant shall explain. What in the photo of the fingerprints contradicts the testimony? The position of the fingerprints. It's the position of the fingerprints, Your Honor. Oh? The position? According to the witness testimony, the defendant held the pipe like this. In order to hit the witness on the head, she raised the pipe like so. That is precisely what she did. And then she struck from above, but here's the problem. Think about the fingerprints that should have been left had she done just that. What are you getting at, Mr. Wright? Look closely at the way I'm holding the pipe. In this situation, the fingerprints would look like this. The thumb is above the other fingers. Indeed, there's no doubt about it. Now take a look at the fingerprints that were actually left on the pipe. Goodness! The thumb is below the other fingers. What? That's right. Miss Al Dente? What is it? Had the defendant attacked you as you described, the fingerprints would have been the other way around, which means something's not right with your testimony. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? These fingerprints were submitted as decisive evidence. How come this contradiction was not brought to light before? No! Miss Al Dente, what do you have to say about this? Not much, it seems. Excuse me, Miss Al Dente? Know how to bring out the full sweetness of a sweet potato? Huh? Use a pinch of salt. Interesting, right? Use salt to make something taste sweeter. I am not following. I remember it now. It was the other way around. Not as you'd expected. I'm sorry, I got a bit confused. You normally hold a pipe like that. But she's so small and the pipe's heavy, she held it the other way. The other way? Not like this. That's... She held it this way.
Objection!
But you testify she fiercely swung the pipe at you. I'm telling you, I got confused. Olivia's sorry, okay? How could you mistake the way she held the pipe if she was right in front of you? Oh, why don't you go and fry an egg? What does it matter if she held it one way or the other? You wouldn't call a slightly salted sweet potato a salty potato because it still has sweet potato no matter what you add to it. The witness probably has a point, doesn't she, Mr. Wright? Absolutely not. So the defendant attacked the witness holding the pipe backhanded. It seems a bit unnatural, but it does make sense, I suppose. Indeed it does, Your Honor. There is no problem in this evidence after all. Does the defense agree? If I agree there are no problems with this evidence, we'll be one step away from losing this case. There's gotta be a contradiction somewhere in that fishy testimony. Could a spell have it Olivia holding the pipe backhanded? We do have the medical report that clearly says that the person who was attacked was hit in the head. We can prove there's a contradiction here.
Objection!
Well, Miss Aldens, I'm afraid that you're in a pickle now. I don't really see why. Adding a pack of lies to a testimony can turn things very sour for a witness. It would seem the defense is prepared to prove its claim. That there is a contradiction in its witness in this witness testimony. Correct, Your Honor. I won't know until I try. The defense shall now present evidence to the court. The evidence contradicted the assertion that the defendant hit the witness holding the pike backhand, that is. Laceration to the back of the head. He did a long, blunt object. Okay. But she was hit in the back of the head. How could she have defended herself like she claims? The medical report says she was hit from behind.
Take that!
Miss Aldente, you probably testified that you were using that hat to cover the wound you received in the assault. It's normal for signorinas to cover up things they don't want others to see. That's not all. You also described the defendant as little, if you recall. That is to say, Miss Cantavella is, at the very least, shorter than you. I've grown tall and healthy thanks to the wonderful Mediterranean sunshine. Let me ask you then. How did a girl shorter than you holding a heavy pike backhand and manage to land a blow to the back of your head? I'd say it's impossible. The fingerprints on the weapon show that the defendant held it backhanded. But even if she didn't, it is highly unlikely she would have been able to hit Miss Aldente's head like that. Oh, order! I will have order. What is the defense getting at?
Objection!
Even if it was highly unlikely, it cannot be proven that it was impossible. Miss Cantavella's fingerprints were found on the pipe, Your Honor. Nothing can change the fact that it was the defendant who held the weapon. That is so. Does the defense have any comments? I can't deny that. It's clear that Despella did hold that pipe. She held it like this, right? Why would she do that? It'd be hard to hit anyone like this. When she holds it like that, it looks as if the court recognizes the validity of the prosecution's objection. Fingerprints on the weapon prove that it was used by the defendant.
Objection!
The defendant's fingerprints may be on the pipe, however, that doesn't prove she hit anyone with it.
Objection!
Nonsense! What else would she pick up a steel pipe for?
Objection!
Oh, I think I got a pretty good idea. Well then, the defense may elaborate on this idea. What I say next might turn this trial around. She was trying... The defendant's fingerprints were left on the weapon when she tried to defend herself. Well, naturally, she held the pipe with both hands when she stopped it from coming down her head. Stopped it with both hands? That's right, like this. Welcome to the stream, Serval. Glad to see you, my friend. Please take another look at this photo. These are not the fingerprints of an assailant, but rather the fingerprints of a victim who was defending herself. Which brings us to the conclusion that Miss Cantaveles didn't attack the witness. She was in fact a victim, desperately trying to defend herself. This cannot be! And if Miss Cantavella was a victim, who was the real assailant? There's only one person who could have done it. The only other person at the crime scene was Olivia Al Dente. It was you, wasn't it? Ah! Order! 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 If I cannot have order, the court will be adjourned. Be quiet, all of you! You just don't quit, do you? I'll say this, I do like the eel dodging all of the swings. A lousy lawyer like you should get the job. How about I show you my knife up close?
Objection!
Have you lost your mind, Mr. Wright? The witness is a victim, not the assailant. There's no fingerprints other than the defendant's on the weapon.
Objection!
Her uniform has gloves. Her uniform has gloves. There would be no fingerprints. Look at her outfit. She's wearing gloves. That's why she left no fingerprints. Ah, you prickly sea urchin.
Objection!
But you cannot be sure she was wearing gloves that night.
Objection!
It's a uniform. The witness has called this her work outfit, so she must have been wearing it when she went to check the supplies.
Hold it!
You devious liar, slippery as an eel. It was me because I had gloves on, as if I was the only one wearing gloves. She's the only one in the courtroom wearing gloves. There was that guy, the guard. He was wearing gloves too. The guard? Was that the previous witness? Oh, that's right. Gloves are part of the guard's uniform by regulation. See, that guard Johnny, he was wearing gloves that night too. What do you say to that, Mr. Wright? Since you're claiming that the assailant is the person who had gloves on, that will make the guard a suspect as well. Could Johnny be the culprit? When he arrived at the scene of the crime, things have already taken place. Plus, his torch, his flashlight was covered in chocolate because he keeps eating chocolate and it melts in his hands. So no, the pipe would have had chocolate marks too. It's impossible. Johnny Smells is not the culprit. Why not? Anyone with gloves could have done it. Didn't you just say that? No, I didn't. However, it does seem possible that the guard who could have done it, he was wearing gloves after all. I'm afraid that's impossible, Your Honor, and I have proof. You do? Fascinating. Let's see this proof if you really have it. Please enlighten us to why Smiles cannot be the culprit. Provide the proof. I have your proof right here. The torch covered in chocolate fingerprints.
Take that!
Mr. Miles is, to put it nicely, what you may call a free spirit. There is no guarantee he will follow the rules and wear his full uniform. And this evidence proves that he did not wear his gloves. Wait, don't throw that filthy torch at me. Will someone please wipe the chocolate off this evidence? No, Your Honor, this chocolate is the evidence. What? Mr. Smiles was snacking on a chocolate bar during his parole. But that's why the flashlight is in this sorry state. And covered in his chocolatey fingerprints. Therefore, we know that he didn't wear gloves when patrolling the ship that night. Rule-breaking, chocolate-loving Johnny Smiles was not the culprit. What? That's ridiculous. It's too silly.
Objection!
Your Honor, the defense is merely pointing out a possibility. To call this witness a criminal without actual evidence against her is preposterous.
Objection!
The prosecution's duty is to clear what doubt there may be regarding the defendant's guilt. And I have demonstrated that there is, at the very least, a possibility that the witness is not telling the truth.
Objection!
At the very least, especially Cantavella is not innocent. As corroborated by the PC voucher, the toy that she attempted to steal. Ah. What was that? Did Olivia just freeze for a second? Prosecutor flinch. Explain to the court about this toy, this new piece of evidence. This is the stuffed toy the defendant tried to steal that night. One of its legs would appear to be missing. The poor thing. This mishap befell PC Butcher at the witness and defendants were fighting. The captain of the Ferro reported the damage after the defendant's arrest. So this is the stuffed animal Olivia snatched from Espella? I see. The court would like to hear the witness testimony regarding the evidence. Witness your testimony. Excuse me, witness, you have been asked to testify. I'm very sorry. I got a little upset from all these accusations. I'm not used to these, to being called a liar. Yes, it's totally natural. Don't worry about that. It's all that slimy attorney's fault. Why do I feel like I'm an eel in a chopping board? The witness will now testify. Tell us how you retrieved this toy from the defendant. Gladly. Oh, il nostro mare. I wonder what she's saying. I don't get it. Whatever she said, I'll make sure this is the last time she says it in court. Okay. I wrestled this toy back from that thief and then gave it to the police. Thank you for the word, Redeem Servo. Much appreciated. When I found that girl, I thought I couldn't let her get away with her precious cargo. Naturalmente, I had to get that toy back from her first. Its leg got ripped off though. But there was no way I could attack her with the pipe. I was holding the toy in one hand. I don't remember much about when I was it, but I got the toy back at least. Okay. So we're gonna have to find the contradictions in this statement. But wait a second here. We do have the police badge, the dog tag that was on the toy that was stolen. That toy that she just presented, that it's missing its leg, still had the dog tag around its neck. Okay. Oh, I see. What a commendable attitude, going into such lengths to protect the cargo. I might not be a security guard, but I'll do what it takes for the sake of our ship. It didn't do much good in the end. This PC voucher is way too damaged to be sold. These lovely little toys are made at the workshop in London. We transport them down the River Thames, distributing them to children as we go. Didn't she call them bizarro toys earlier? Now suddenly they're cute? And what about fingerprints on this toy? This is a soft toy after all, so no usable fingerprints were found. Well, that's unfortunate. Regardless, the court accepts it into its evidence. Okay. The defense might now cross-examine the witness. Okay. That's the line that gets me here. Thames River? Okay. I appreciate the information, Tia. Some English words are more convoluted than others. Tuck torn from the PC voucher, Espella was clasping in her hands. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it still has the badge. It's missing a leg, but the toy Espella was trying to take, it was missing the tag, like I said. So yeah. I'm pretty confident actually in this. I might have the, as you said, sound like a hater, but I am paying attention.
Objection!
Miss Al Dente, I would like to confirm just one thing. The stuffed animal you submitted to the police is this one. Yeah, that's the one, no doubt about it. I'm sorry, but if that's the case, things simply don't add up. What doesn't add up? If it's about the leg, it's that girl's fault. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. I appreciate the advice from someone who's much more familiar with this series in particular. The problem is not something that's missing from this stuffed animal. On the contrary, it's something that shouldn't be there in the first place. Something that shouldn't be there? And that is, of course, this item. This is the final piece of evidence received from the guard, Mr. Smiles. When I seized the girl at the scene of the crime, she was clasping this in her hand. She didn't even seem to notice. And what would that be? It would appear to be PC Voucher's tag, Your Honor. Strange, isn't it? Something was definitely ripped off from this plushie. But it wasn't its leg, it was the tag. You noticed it too, didn't you, Miss Al Dente? If this is the stuffed animal that Mrs. Cantavella was holding when you found her, then why is the tag still on it? Order, order! Hey, you tasteless looking prosecutor over there? Yes? What's this about a tag? You didn't tell me anything about that. If you please calm down. It's no use blaming the prosecutor. He didn't even know this tag existed.
Objection!
Witness, I had not been informed of such evidence. If you had this in your possession, why didn't you hand it in to the police? Sorry, Mr. Prosecutor, I am an expert at what I do. And my expert advice to myself was that I'd better keep this as my secret weapon. So I waited for the right moment to single-handedly settle this trial. For better or worse, this tag's existence has only recently come to light. Neither the prosecution nor you, Your Honor, knew about it before this trial. Nice one, chocolate cup, indeed. But then, why is there a tag on this toy? How come this toy has a tag? The answer is simple. They swapped it for another one. There is a tag on this stuffed animal because she took the wrong toy. The toy was swapped. There is only one possibility. Miss Al Dente, before handing the plushie in the police, you swapped it for another. Listen to yourself. Why would I even do something like that? Ridiculous. And that's right. That tag must be a fake. A fake? Why would you think that? That chocolate freak must be trying to frame me. That's what it is.
Objection!
Mr. Smiles has no motive to do something like that.
Objection!
No motive? It doesn't require much thinking to come up with one. He wanted attention. Yes, what he said. The guard liked to show off. That's all there is to it. Did Johnny produce a bogus evidence to draw attention to himself? Honestly, no. Honestly, no. He's a walking goofball. It's an interesting theory, but not impossible. And how would you know that? You, I'll dice you like an onion. Exactly, why would he do that? Anyway, was Mr. Smiles lying? There's an easy way to find out. What? How do you plan to check it? By checking the fingerprints, of course. Fingerprints? Ugh! According to Mr. Smiles' testimony, when he sees Mrs. Cantavella, she was holding the tag in her hand. Therefore, her fingerprints should still be on the tag. I will say, pointing in dramatic moments like this is fun. Bailiff, have this evidence investigated immediately. That was awesome, Nick. We almost got her now. Mr. Flinch, I have a question for you. What is it? When you searched the crime scene, did you find a toy without a tag? Well, Mr. Flinch, did you? No, we, considering the circumstances, it did not seem necessary to investigate quite so thoroughly. But at the very least, I can tell you that all the toys in that crate had tags on. Excuse me, Your Honor? What is it, Mr. Wright? It appears no stuffed animal was found without a tag. Which means that it might still be hidden at the crime scene. Your Honor, the defense requests that the ship be searched thoroughly this time. Send the forensics team there immediately. You're requesting another search?
Objection!
What? Surely you can't be serious. Whether the toy was swapped or not, it doesn't matter in the least. They are all the same. Any of them will do just fine. That is exactly why it's important. All these plushes are the same. There's no need to swap one for another. And yet... why is the witness getting so worked up about it? That's just... I had a feeling that there was something odd about this case. A stolen stuffed animal and an assault connected to it. There had to be more to it. There had to be another crime under the surface. Nick! What should I do? Well, request the search. It's the only option. Your Honor, the defense insists on the search. Should a plushie without a tag be found on the ship, then there's a strong possibility that this case will be resolved.
Objection!
The prosecution does not acknowledge that...
You can't! No, you can't search it again! You just can't!
That's a big fish indeed. Witness. Miss Al Dente, why did you swap the stuffed animal? And why are you so afraid of having the ship searched? PC Voucher holds all the answers. I say, Mr. Wright, could it be that you already know the reason behind the swap? Of course, I don't have any definitive proof. But when it comes to pointing out a possibility, I might have something. Hopefully no, that would be pretty gory. Although it might seem hypothetical, I might sound like a hypocrite saying something like that, considering the nature of my species as a bear and how much we love fish. Do you have any evidence that would explain why Miss Al Dente is against the search? The front of page articles about jewel thieves in London. You can consider this case closed.
Take that!
There is a certain article in this newspaper. Elusive Jew thieves at large in London, Scotland Yard on red alert. Oh, that robbery. I have heard about it, of course. A group of thieves robbed a Jewish shop and made away with about 50 pieces of jewelry. Many extremely valuable stones were stolen as well. Scotland Yard's under great pressure to find them. All packages sent out from London are being scrutinized by the police. And what does this have to do with our case? Nothing! I beg to differ. The Jew theft took place in London. And that's where our freighter picked up its cargo. London... it can't be! Witness? That night, you discovered the defendant in the cargo hold. She was holding one of the plushies. You knew you had to get it back. You had to get it back at all costs, but why got so far for a mere plushie? There is only one possible reason. You couldn't afford to have the police discover what's inside of it. An unexpected result, but a welcome one. Fish counter indeed. I have just received a report from the team investigating the crime scene. This toy was hidden between the storage unit and the pipe. Oh. You know what that means. Fish! Counter. And this was found inside a pink diamond worth approximately 100,000 pounds. We have also received a report from the crime lab. The defendant's fingerprints have been found on the tag. Do you have anything to say, Miss Al Dente? Her face still has the mark of the fish tail. I lost, didn't I? So you're Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of the jewel thieves. My role was to get out the loot out of London. The police never checked the regular shipments from the workshop. We decided to take advantage of that blind spot. Indeed, the regular direct delivery service has been overlooked by the police. Possibly because the workshop produces the very mascots representing the police. The other crews had nothing to do with it. I used their ship, that's all. It was you who hid the jewels inside the plushies. There was one jewel in each toy. It was carrying them away one by one. The defendant happened to pick one of those toys up. And I had my heart stand still when I saw that girl in the cargo hold. Whenever I was free, I stood guard in front of that room, and yet she got in somehow. So there she was in the room with the hidden loot, one of the toys in her hand. So how did Espella get in there? I don't know if she was trying to steal the toy or what, but just had to get back from her, no matter the cost. Then I handed it in a different toy. I made it look like it was ripped in the fight. It would have been over for me if the police had found any of the jewels. But wait, who was it in the end? Who hit Olivia? Oh, I almost forgot about that.
At first, I thought it must have been that little girl that hit me. But now I don't know.
You don't know?
No one else was supposed to be in that room. But what if there was someone in the shadows? Some mischievous person hidden in the darkness.
This was a most unusual case, was it? It cannot be said that all the mysteries have been resolved, but it has come clear that Miss Cantavelli is innocent. Well then, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It would seem that I owe you thanks for helping us see the truth. No, not to thank me, Your Honor. I was just doing my job, like I always do. Is that really the smartest thing you could come up with? Oh, shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. And Mr. Flinch, yes, Your Honor? This trial was part of the Legal League of Attorneys Exchangement Program, wasn't it? May these trials serve as a lesson for you too. Is that understood?
Ooh. It is as you say, Your Honor. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look! Without my glasses, I can't see and I don't want to be seen. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
Are you okay? Well then. The court has reached its verdict. I pronounce the defendant, Espella Cantavella, not guilty. Also, welcome to the stream, Juna. Congratulations, you did it, Nick. Sumi, if you take off your glasses, are your eyes gonna be really tiny too? I mean, if I turn around slightly, you can see beyond my glasses and they are the same, but that would be a quite the funny visual. Yeah, thanks. I guess I should be happy. But Darkla's cold gaze is staring daggers through me. Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're better than I thought. Had I known earlier, I would have asked you to prove Espella innocent from the very start. I'm glad you're happy about the verdict. Espella, come and thank Mr. Wright. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Glad I could help. Hey, Espella. What's that big book you got there? she is quite attractive. I will give both of you that. I will agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Oh, please forgive her. She's a bit shy, you see. She's very fond of books. At any rate now, Espella can return to her peaceful life at our boarding school. And it's all thanks to your hard work, Mr. Wright. Now please excuse us. We have some formalities to attend to. Oh yes, of course. Mr. Wright. You were truly outstanding in that courtroom today. Farewell. Phew, it's finally over. You know, something still bothers me about this case. The person who hit Olivia, where did they go? That's true. We don't know who actually assaulted Olivia. If it wasn't Espella, there must have been another person at the crime scene. But neither Olivia nor Johnny saw anyone else. The room was dark save for the emergency light. I'm sure someone hid in the shadows. And Johnny was wearing sunglasses. I'm amazed he saw anything at all. He missed all those clues, so it's not much of a stretch to imagine he missed the perpetrator too. How about we head back now? Okay, let's go check the Tower Bridge while we still have some daylight left.
Oh,
What is it, Maya?
there, on the couch. Isn't that Espella's book? It is the book she was holding. We should return it to her. Hey, Nick, let's see what kind of stuff Espella likes to read.
Just quit it, Maya.
Labyrinthia, huh?
What?
Huh?
Huh? Maya, look!
Huh? Hey, Nick, look, that's us, isn't it?
The same thing happened to Luke and Layton. What now? That was a long prologue. Chapter 1, Mysterious Labyrinthia. Oh, finally. Look, wake up, my boy. Oh, thank Panda Christ. Okay, time to compose myself a little. Prologue 1 and Prologue 2, indeed, one for each character. Although I'll say it before, Layton looks kinda weird in this game, a little bit stretched. Thank you for the word, Dim. And the stretch. So, Layton, Luke, Maya, and Phoenix Wright got sucked into this book that this weird lady was carrying. And she's been hunted down by quote-unquote witches. Fuck water, I'm drink coke? Well, you know what they say, to each their own. Or the way I say it, to each their blown. Professor? Layton looks like a Roblox character. Good, I'm glad to see you're awake. Yeah, glad to be back. Are you feeling alright? Yeah, I'm fine. A bit drowsy though. I guess I just fell asleep all of a sudden. Wait, now I remember. If this was Phoenix Wright when Luke made that post, there would have been a million sound effects like this is Johnny Test. It's good to be back. Wait, now I remember. Professor, what happened with the witches and where exactly are we? Well, look, I'd only just woken up myself. We've been here in this horse-drawn wagon since I awoke. How did we end up asleep in a wagon? That is something we must now find out. First of all, where are we? And secondly, where are we being taken? There's another passenger over there. Let's start by asking her. Good thinking, Professor. I've never been more happy to hear the hint coin sound effect before. Vegetables, they're all quite big and tasty looking. There we go. Excuse me, but I wonder if you could tell us where this wagon is heading? Where is it heading? That really is a meaningless question. It goes without saying since there's only one place we could possibly be heading. Oh, you're finally awake. What do you mean by one place? If you really want to know, why don't you ask the wagon driver? Although, whether you ask or not, we'll be arriving at our destination soon anyway. If that's the case, surely it wouldn't hurt to just tell us. Look, let's take her advice. We may have better luck with the driver. Alright, if you say so. So, you finally woke up, did you? You know, the Skyrim reference was a joke before, huh? It was just a joke. It was just a funny. You were not supposed to actually say you're finally awake. I was wondering what to do with you both. I was starting to think you'd never wake up. Excuse me, but where is it that we're going? Me, oh my. You didn't get into this one without knowing where it's headed, did you? Wagon driver, you ruined the joke by actually referencing it. Well, in truth, we only just became aware that we were in here. Until just a moment ago, we were in the Tower Bridge in London. I'm afraid we have no recollection of having boarded this wagon. You certainly say the strangest things. You're both still half asleep, aren't you? Half asleep? Of course not. As far as I remember, you're both been in this one from the very start. You can tell this is a Phoenix Wright characters because they cannot say a single sentence without bombarding this soundboard. There's no way that's right, and besides... No, don't get so worked up, Sonny. You'll upset the other passengers. I know nothing about the two of you except from what I've seen. My job is just to carry my passengers to that town. A town, you say? Well, looky here. It's just coming to sight. Why not take a pic, Okay. Some sort of medieval town. Or everybody here is really into LARPing. Maybe both. Captain! All present and accounted for, sir. I want you to keep in mind, man, that the peace of this town is in your hands. Never forget that no matter what happens, the people look to you to keep the peace. Hmm? Hi, Tia. How you doing? Yes, everybody is here. Are those owl masks? They look like owl masks. Yes, sir, for honor and glory. Captain, Captain. What can I do for you, my little ones? I want to join the Order of Knights and patrol the streets like you. That's an upstanding ambition, lad. Perhaps when you're a little bigger. Yes, sir. I'll do my very best to grow up as soon as I can, sir. This kid is fucked. He's like 12 years old and he already wants to be a cop, a narc, a no fun, a loud type asshole. I like your spirit, young man. Oh, you look so pleased with yourself. You don't really think I'm a weakling like you could join the Order of Knights, do you? Hey, that's not a nice thing to say. Every boy wants to be a knight. Prospective pork pupil. Phoenix Wright, Professor Layton, and Skyrim. Oh, what can she do for one as sweet as you? This Bardley Bar called Bardley. Could you sing me a little song? Something romantic to melt my heart. Oh, fair maiden, the pleasure is mine. A worthy song of a love such as thine. Oh, the love in your heart and the love in your head is full of warmth like freshly baked bread. Sweet. Professor, everyone here is a weirdo. That's not what Luke said. Professor, look at these people over there. They're wearing period costumes. I never seen that in London. You're right, Luke. This town would appear to resemble the one we saw in that book. Although I'm somewhat puzzled as to how we ended up here. There's nothing strange about this. Ah, you're the passenger from the wagon. The fact that we're now here is a predetermined turn of events. What do you mean? We're just brought here from the outside. This outside of which you speak of, just what exactly are you referring to? Huh? Well, I mean, London, of course. There is no such place, nor is there any such thing as an outside. Not here, not in Labyrinthia. Labyrinthia? What? You mean this is really Labyrinthia? Even so, that doesn't mean that London doesn't exist. If we went back the way we came, we'd be bound to come across it eventually. If you don't believe me, they'll want you to take a look at it with your own eyes. Professor, the gate is gone! The gate we came through was right behind us, wasn't it? Yes, it certainly was there. So if that's the case, why does no one around here seem surprised? Seeing such a big gate disappear like that. Hey, where did she go? This is most perplexing. What's going on here? If this really is Labyrinthia, then could it be that we have somehow ended up inside that book? You mean the book Espella was showing us, don't you? The Historia Labyrinthia. That's right, Luke. Do you recall what happened to us at Tower Bridge? Well, I remember when that book started glowing, but after that, I'm totally blank. Professor, you don't think we've somehow been pulled inside the book, do you? I think the saddest part of this crossover is just the fact that Layton must now contend with literal, actual, for real magical thinking, because Phoenix Wright does have some legitimate supernatural elements. Well, Astron Legacy also does have some magical quote-unquote aspects, but it's mostly just Astron technology. It's a bit early to be drawing conclusions just yet, my boy. It's explained as it's just extremely advanced technology, not necessarily magic. It's a bit early to be drawing conclusions just yet, my boy. There are quite a few people around here. Let's start off by asking a few questions. Okay, I guess we'll ask them now. Oh my god, puzzle. You're finished patrolling this area then? Yes, sir. Nothing to report at present, sir. We must be even more on our guard than usual today. Fair. Go back far enough in time with an iPhone and people will think you're a witch. Pretty much. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, Captain. Yes? I don't mean to alarm you, but there appears to be a couple of unusual characters approaching our vicinity, sir. What? There appears to be two individuals with a completely different art style and tone that doesn't match at all with our surroundings, sir. That's what I would have said. Oi there, you two. What business do you have with the Order of Knights? Well, we just wanted to ask a few questions about the area. About the Order of Knights? Are you really real knights? Super Smash Pussy Melee. What's that? You're not poking fun of the Order of Knights, are you? That was certainly not our intention. We were merely noting that your appearance is... We're merely noting that your appearance is somewhat unusual. You're saying we're unusual, are you? That is what he said, yes. Well, that's an unusual thing to say. We usually patrol Labyrinthia, doing our usual duty to keeping the usual order. Tell me, what's unusual about that? If anyone's unusual here is you two. It's like you two come from a completely different video game series. And I find it quite unusual that I've never seen either of you two characters before. Which part of the town are you from? We just came here in the back of a wagon through the gate over there. But then we noticed the gate has vanished. You didn't see anything, did you? Gate? What gate? But there was a gate, we just came through it from the outside. Outside? No, I've been patient with you two, but nothing you're saying makes a lick of sense. Take a shot every single time he says unusual or usual or unusual. I don't think you'll get out of this live stream alive, my friend. My apologies. I'm afraid it has been a while since we were here in the main street. And I seem to remember there having been a gate of some sort around here. But Professor... Look, I think it would be prudent to play along here. There's definitely something fishy about you two. Captain, I don't suppose these two are... No, I doubt that. I thought they do look and act strangely. Maybe we could test them to see if they do really live here? A test. Yes, that's a mighty good idea. I know a good way of deciding whether you two are dubious characters or not. What are you going to do? Well, it's very simple. If you really are an outstanding member of this community, then you'll be able to solve this. Solve what? Look, it appears this town has puzzles similar to the ones on our own world. What are you mumbling about? Are you ready? Then here we go. I feel so at home right now. You have no idea how much I miss this. Everyone knows that here at the Order, we strive for excellence. Ensuring that you can properly block any attack with your shield is an integral part of maintaining that reputation. We're not leaving here until each and every one of you shows me how to block. Now show me what you got. So just swapping point. Touch the piece that you would like to move on the touchscreen below. Slide the stylus to move the piece around the screen. When you have found the desired location of the piece, release it by lifting the stylus. Okay, simple controls. So I can just move these around, and the objective is for all the attacks to be blocked. So if there's a shield, there should be an attack. For example, there's a sword here, there's a shield here, there's a shield here, and there's a sword here. All the combinations should be like that, which means this one right here should not be here. We should have a piece here that doesn't have any kind of attack in that direction. For example, this one, which is also pointing downward, which matches the shield below. This one having a shield in its back, it means we should have a character attacking on that direction. This one is attacking up and left, which means this one could fit naturally in that corner, and that's it. Yes, yeah, everything matches very well.
I've already seen the answer.
That's the one.
That was indeed an intriguing puzzle.
Marvelous. That was pretty easy, but this is only puzzle number 6. Although, the fact that it's 2 digits instead of the actual 3 does make me sad. Because it means there's less puzzles now. Because Phoenix Wright had to have his share of the pie. Truly impressive puzzle solving. Of course, any member of our community could solve it. But those who can solve it with this level of insight are few and far between. You're no longer under suspicion, although I must advise you to speak and act with more caution henceforth. Today being a special day, we are on an even higher level of alert than usual. 50-50 between posse and court cases. I guess so, yeah. It seemed a bit touch and go for a moment, but I think we've convinced them. Not only that, but it seems that puzzles are a familiar concept here, which means that if we run into trouble, we should be able to overcome it through our usual puzzle solving approach. Beautiful. That's good to know. The puzzle was a bit different to the ones we're used to, though. It seemed to be a puzzle rather unique to this town. I know all the more worth solving for it, wouldn't you say, Luke? You're right, Professor. So what's our next step? Well, my boy, first and foremost, I suggest we take a look around and investigate this town of Labyrinthia. Alright, let's do that. But where should we start? We know next to nothing about this town. Well, that is true, Luke. Although if you recall, we do know somebody who has been here before us. Ah, you mean Carmine, right? Precisely. It appears that Carmine was able to leave this town and return to London. However, it would also appear that he was unaware of how he managed to do so. So you mean Carmine's activities here may be our only clue to getting back? I'm afraid so, Luke. First things first, let's see if we can find any signs of his presence here. Right you are, Professor. Let's start investigating. Enjoy yourselves while you can, for you will no doubt soon realize the role you have been chosen to play. Ominous. The flag bears some coat of arms, it seems. Oh, even the map is tiny. No hint coins? 0 hint coins? Wait. It's unusual to have a map without a single hint coin. Okay. I need some water, give me a second. I haven't seen you two around here before. Do you know where you're standing? Well, I might be wrong, but I think we're in Labyrinthia. That's not what I mean. You tell him, Cecil. Me? Well, it's just that this is our territory, you see? Wait, question. Before Layton got sucked into this book, was the Was the London he was in look older? No, it's just normal London. It was your casual London. The usual London from the first Layton series, except for on one future, obviously. You little punks. Your territory? That's right, you two just went down ahead and walked right into our territory. Oh, I get it. You mean we walked into the area you always play in, right? Sorry, we didn't realize. Do you mind if we join you here for a while? You heard him. What do you think? I guess it'd be alright. The more the merrier, I say. Okay. Fine. Here's what we'll do. If you can solve this puzzle, then you can stick around. It's our initiation test. Okay, we have different color buttons. A blue one, a magenta one, and a yellow one, and a green one. There are 4 dolls atop a music box. Each doll is facing a different direction. Touching the buttons on the touchscreen will turn 2 of the dolls 90 degrees. Rotate the dolls so that they all face forward. However, you cannot press the same button twice in a row. Okay. Green Sumi confirmed. Oh. I think collectively everybody, we had more than enough with a potential 4th bear with Sammy. We don't need any more, honestly. But the multiverse is a big place, I guess. So we would never know. Okay, so you can repeat buttons. Okay. Okay. Throws you a pair of Potara earrings. Time for the fusion arc. Aren't Potara earrings permanent? I like my body just the way it is, personally. Okay. Only if you're a Kai, okay. In that case, how would that even look like, honestly? There we go.
Don't worry, leave this one to me.
There it is.
As you'd expect from a gentleman in training.
Good job. Marvelous. As usual. Hey, you're pretty good. That was a piece of cake. After all, solving puzzles is my specialty. Yeah, me too. It only took me 10 seconds to solve a puzzle like that. Really? I didn't know you solved puzzles. You just keep out of this, nobody asked you. Anyway, you're now an official member as promised. From now on, you're number 2. So me green, purple, and orange. An interesting trio of characters, I guess. Although before Sammy disintegrated last time we saw her, she did mention something about someone with red glasses. I'm still a little bit paranoid about what she was talking about, if I can be quite frank here. Yep, I'm number 1. You should feel proud. As number 2, you can walk around in the town freely. Not only that, but I'll let you in on a secret. If you check those green flags over there, you'll find something I hid there. Okay, thanks. Somehow I get the feeling that even if I hadn't become number 2, I could have walked around the town freely. Game theory, is Sumi red or real? Well, it would explain these strange old emotes. We still have no idea where they came from. They were just here. All of these. It's quite weird, quite puzzling. Assuming really isn't real, like you're running of Chef Who killers. That's a good question. We might have to update those emojis because they are giving quite the unsettling vibe. I feel deeply uncomfortable looking at them. It's like something that's extremely uncanny. Like something that's not supposed to be there. Okay. What do we have here? It is a very detailed statue portraying a knight. Oh. Hint coin. Gust of wind rattling the shop sign. It seems they're closed today. Hint coin. Oh, a cat. A cat. I like looking at animals almost as much as solving puzzles. I do love cats myself as well. A pussy. Woohoo! I'm just so happy. Why are you so happy? Well, that should be obvious. Today I get to gaze upon Inquisitor Barnham in all his splendor. Inquisitor Barnham? What is he like? Are you serious? I can't believe there's a young boy who doesn't know all about Zack Barnham. Is that what happens when we squish all three of them together? Definitely not. All you're gonna get when you squish us all together is just a big cuddle pile of pandas. Oh no, she speaks in Uwu. I found the Princess Bride character. He's so splendid and handsome and kind. He's just amazing. I'm not surprised anyone could be that wonderful. Oh, you'll understand when you see him. He'll be making his appearance soon over in North Parade Avenue. Honestly, this is how Cyan sounds like to me. Too much cutesiness, too much sugar. Oh, I'm just so happy. I have to go now and see what I will see. She seems to have headed north. She said North Parade Avenue, didn't she? Do you think some sort of event will be taking place there? CMY together makes black. Well, it's CMY black and white. Like a panda. It's like a double pun. Thank you for the stretch and water redeems. Ah, there we go. Another water, of course. Have you noticed that the Twitter logo is wearing a Layton hat? I can't say for certain, but whenever you look, the townspeople certainly do seem excited about something. It could be that some kind of special social event is being held today. I don't miss that bird. It wasn't a great sight, but it was definitely better than now. Sounds exciting. Let's hurry up and see what's going on. Puzzle time. Oh, what have we here? A man and a lad, like two lost sheep. It makes me so sad. Wow, are you singing for us? How fascinating. This man is clearly a minstrel. A minstrel? They were around in the Middle Ages, weren't they? Indeed, in the Middle Ages, minstrels were a kind of professional musician or poet, although I do find it a little bit embarrassing to be referred as a lost sheep. Well, at least it's better than being called a little lost lamb, right, Professor? Little lost lambs, please have no fear. The bard, your shepherd, is standing right here. Labyrinthine town, so your ways be known. I shall give the lambs a map of their very own. You're right, Luke. I did prefer ship, but it's most kind of this gentleman to provide us with a map of the town. It is my pleasure, it is my delight. I'm only doing what is right. So if we somehow figure out how to fuse the three of them together, we get a special black-colored panda. Sumi Black. That... I'm trying to think how that would even look like. Thank you, minstrel. This map will come in handy. The sheep are happy, the bard is pleased, but sadly the map is a bit of a tease. Evil, edgy Sumi Black. Huh? What do you mean? Actually, the map I just gave you is all in pieces. What? So the puzzle is gonna be to put it back together, huh? Map mishap. Okay. The crazy of Max, the cunning of Yellow, and the charm of Cyan. The ultimate villain. Well, people do enjoy charming villains, don't they? I get the feeling this is gonna form a circle. Of some kind. I need a piece that has a part of a tree there. Or maybe... Okay, that connects a little bit better. Is that it? Everything seems to be fine here, so... Pets are connecting, all the houses are connected. I would use the memo, but it just lowers the opacity of the map itself, so... These glasses are not a cosmetic item, I do need them. It's a very tiny screen. Yeah, I think this is correct. So let's see.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills.
That's the one.
That was indeed an intriguing puzzle.
Marvelous. Minstrel? You did it! You fixed the map! Well done, now I can continue with my further descriptions of the town. Juno, don't you mean sexy lady in any case? If we really had to go with that. Don't you dare say that about Sumi. Thank you, Tia. The sheep held the shepherd, and now is all well. The bard he can sing, of the town he can tell. Please, think nothing of it. I'm just glad we have the map in one piece. Now, let me tell you about our proud town. The first thing you should know is that it is round. The One Piece is real! Right is a baker, selling bread for your meal. Left is a weaponsmith, sharpening steel. In the north of the town, people gather and wait, and I must go soon before it's too late. There definitely seems to be something big going on in the north, Professor. Yes, it would appear so. Look, let's make sure to have a look a little later. Look is gonna have a look at it. Okay. He needs a hip hop beat. Okay, let's go here. Some guards. Oh, a hint coin. We arrived at the 51 mark of hint coins. Someone should redeem Sudaya before we get 52. This is definitely the best weapon shop. Hey, I could blow month's pay in this place. This sword, this axe, and this mace, and that new shield over there? What more could a knight like me ask for? They all seem to be painstakingly crafted. But I can't help but wonder how a knight will be able to move with all this equipment. A soldier unable to wear this equipment is not fit to be called a knight. What's more, this amount of equipment is but the bare minimum required to effectively oust wrongdoers. Such a knave might come at me just like this. Okay. Okay. So another turn to pick up a puzzle. I've noticed an occurrence most strange while on my night watch. I see 4 of my shadows being reflected by the light where there should be just one. What manner of witchery is this? Find my true shadow and fill this miserable curse. Okay, it's clearly not C because it has a small delay. It's not D because it's also moving its fist when it shouldn't. It's not A because the maze has 1 extra spike that shouldn't be there. So the answer is B.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills. Ah, the joy of solving puzzles.
Marvelous. You saw right through that shadowy deception with consummate ease. Allow me to show you my pussy. For free? If you notice anything untoward, be sure to let me know immediately. Certainly, we'd be pleased to help. Unfortunately, villains seem to be careful too. It's a consummate. Okay. It seems there are 2 in particular who are up to no good together. I intend to deal with them before any of them townsfolk fall foul of their misdeeds. So I must remain on my guard at all times in case they suddenly appear. Oh, you're making a reference. Okay. Chuchukin, you're making a silly. Don't worry, I'm the master of silly. But this street seems so peaceful. It's hard to imagine any villains around here. It's a shame. Well, we must hope they apprehend those individuals soon. Let's offer our support too where we can. Right you are, Professor. Oh, hello. Another puzzle? I say, sir, that is a delightfully elegant hat that you're wearing there. If you were willing to part with it, I would pay a fair price. I don't see any hats for sale on your shop up front. You obviously don't frequent this part of the town, do you? I'm Priest. They're pawnbroker. Price, maybe? Yeah, price makes more sense, okay. I deal with anything from heirlooms to hats. You can beat price when it comes to price. So you're a pawnbroker. I'm afraid I'm a little too attached to this hat to let it go. After all, it is the mark of a true gentleman. Very well. I can see that it's a treasure item, and rightly so. Never mind then. But if you're not selling, then how about buying something? I wonder if the money we have on us would actually pass as currency here. What's that? You're currently short on funds? Then here's what I'll do. As today's special day, I'll let you have a little something for free. That is, if you can solve this puzzle. Okay. Huh? You mean to say you're even selling puzzles? Okay. Puzzle 11. Royal victim. The king was attacked. The attack has left him on the floor and unconscious. People rushed to the scene of the attack, preventing the suspect from making a clean escape. As a result, the culprit is still someone within the room. The question is who? Question those present and find out the culprit. Remember that the assailant will attempt to lie his or her way out of trouble. Okay. I guess we'll hear the testimonies. Start with the princess. Oh my! It could not have been the prince. I saw him in another room when we heard that terrible scream. Okay. The princess. I most certainly heard the voice of a woman coming from this very room, but the villager and the princess had not yet arrived. So we have two statements that at least confirm that the prince was not here. But both of them could be lies. Yeah, we have two testimonies that match, so it could... The merchant and I arrived together. It is impossible for either of us to be the culprit. The merchant says, I noticed a woman coming shortly after I had arrived. She certainly seemed to have taken her time getting here. Okay. What about the knight? I hastened to His Majesty's side as fast as possible. No one but the prince and myself were in the room. But the prince... It could... It's the knight.
Don't worry. Leave this one to me. Professor, I did it!
Marvelous. Just as I thought. A bright young man. I pride myself on my puzzle-solving skills. Then your future is assured. A sharp mind is essential for success. With a mind as sharp as yours, you could even take over my business someday. Just imagine you as a pawnbroker is certainly an entertaining image, look. I've always been the professor's apprentice, and I can't imagine doing anything else. Okay. Is there anything else to investigate here? Oh. A hint coin. Now we're at 52. And now 53. Now, let's try the other way around now. We're gonna explore as much as we can. Oh. 54. What about the bread here? The bakery. Labyrinthians, they do not seem to suffer from food shortages. Hint coin, 55. Anything by the window? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, 56. And the puzzle. Oh, a bakery, and it smells so good. If it is in the bakery you want, they're out at that moment. But they should be back soon. That's too bad. But don't you think the taste of the bread has changed a bit recently? And the people working there seem somehow different too. But then I also feel like they've always been working there. Do you mean to say you're not certain? No, I'm not. It's just that somehow I have the feeling that there are more people working there now. There's something I'd like to ask you. How knowledgeable are you about the people of this town? The people? Well, I have lived here all my life, so I guess I know most of them. Why do you want to know? I would just like to know if you have ever heard or met a man called Carmine. Carmine? Sorry, but no. I've never seen or nor heard of anyone by that name. You never heard of him? How curious. Do you think he was just going under a different name here? More importantly, shouldn't you two be on your way? Everyone else is already heading there. Is there something else we should be doing? Are you kidding? With all these townspeople getting so excited like this? You two must be waiting as well, right? Why not kill some time with a puzzle? Sure. Okay, marionettes. Puzzle 9. There are 6 puppets, each with individually controlled body parts. They each have a total of 6 parts: a head, a body, 2 arms, and 2 legs. The controls for each of the puppet's body parts have been separated. Use the stylus to connect each puppet to the correct number of body parts. Note that one of the connections can overlap each other. None of the connections can overlap each other. Okay. Okay, all the puppet's parts must be colored in without any breaks between them. So... Okay. Okay, so she simply... Okay, now I understand. So, let's say... Okay. Oh, wait. Here you can just form an entire... The purple one can be formed pretty easily here. As for the yellow one... Okay, let me remove these green ones. 2 hands... 2 feet and a torso? That does work. There we go. Wait a second. Okay. As for the red one... Feet, hand, feet, torso, hand. Oh, okay, I see a problem. They can overlap each other. The yellow one is here is blocking the... Oh, wait. Okay. Easy. There we go.
See what you think of this.
Marvelous.
Will you let me do the next one too?
Good job. That was a cute puzzle. Pulling the strings is far better than having your strings pulled, don't you think? Bravo. Brilliantly solved. Thank you. So, something really is about to happen? You seriously don't know? Amazing. To think that there could be anyone in town who could be so clueless. Well, if you don't know, why don't you come and see for yourself? As they say, seeing is believing. Or should it be a picture is worth 1,000 words? I'm sure you get what I mean. She could have just told us. This is all a bit exasperating. Well, it looks as if we'll just have to go and see for ourselves. As soon as we finish looking around, let's head for North Parade Avenue. Sounds good, Professor. He's come! The teller has come! Quick, we must now go and see him on the North Parade Avenue. Oh no, I'm late. I've been meaning to wait for this morning. The center of the town is certainly bustling. Something looks set to start in North Parade Avenue. Everyone's heading that way. Come on, Professor. Let's go with them. We do have experience with strange towns and festivals, that's for sure. Looking at you, Montedor. This is it. It's about to appear. This is the moment I've been waiting for ever since I began queuing this morning. I can hear their footsteps. He'll be here any moment now. And that means Inquisitor Barham will be with him. I just can't wait to see Saki Waki up close. Come on, we're waiting. Once it's over, I have to get back and finish my deliveries. Come on. We people have gathered in the streets and we all wait, waiting to see him, to learn of our fate. Dear me, look at them all, clamoring for a peek. It's as if this has never happened before. It would be more fitting and proper to wait with calmness and solemnity to show our respect. I always have trouble mingling with the common masses. No, out of the way. Let the lady and her goat see. That goat does not want to be there, and that makes me sad. Her name is Snowy and she just went by. Now I feel even more sad for Snowy. That poor goat there does not want to be there. And she said bah. Attention, Ravel. Keep the lane straight there.
It looks like it's beginning at last, Professor.
Yes, you appear to be right, my boy. The level of excitement is remarkable.
Hey, you! You with the tall hat! I can't see a thing!
I heard that turbo phrase uttered.
I beg your pardon, madam.
Oh, there it is.
What might be the occasion?
Okay, the goat seems to be a little bit more calm now that it's been pet.
What are you saying? I've never heard such nonsense. And to think that he is about to appear!
Sorry, but when you say he, who exactly do you mean?
Surely you two can't be serious. Why? It's him, of course!
I was perched in the bowels of classic internet. Most people have.
The town's creator! The storyteller himself!
Did you hear that, Ba? Mary, you may want to stop hugging your goat so harshly.
The storyteller.
You're hurting her.
Huh? The creator of Labyrinthia? Wow, Professor, this is amazing.
And that must be this town's creator.
Thank you, storyteller! Thank you for granting me this lovely baby girl! Look at my mother! She was ill in bed, but now she's as fit as a fiddle!
People of Labyrinthia, behold your new story!
Wow, that was amazing, wasn't it, Professor?
No way, it's Descole. Yeah, Descole after 20 million doses of estrogen. More?
Indeed, but something would appear to be amiss.
This toe is too towable. Oh my god, why does she talk like that? Without a doubt, this is terrible. This doesn't look good. Today I'll finish up my deliveries and go home early. Up until a moment ago, everyone was so excited. But now that the parade has passed, the mood here seems totally different. They all seem to be afraid of something. Yes, it's very strange. Ah, Professor, there's one of those sheets of paper over there. That must be one of the sheets that the knights were throwing to the crowd. The problem seems to be related to what is written in those sheets of paper. Hang on, I'll pick one up. Okay. What does it say, Luke? This doesn't look like a typical letter or anything like that. It's hard to imagine what could be so terrible. Let's start by giving it a read through. Okay, Professor. The Frozen Witch moved deeper into the moonlit wood, casting a deadly shadow as she passed between the trees. And when the two young companions stepped into the darkness of the woods, they were drawn into her magic fire, and their lives were consumed in its flames. After finding themselves in Labyrinthia, the professor and Luke saw the parade of the town's creator, the storyteller, but on reading the story that was distributed to them, the townsfolk became afraid. The horrific story on the piece of paper described how two young companions will be burned to death by the witch, which I'm gonna personally assume it means just the twins that we encountered when we started the chapter. Wait, this is the opposite of Sonic and the Secret Rings. This one has a story creator inside of a story, where Sonic has a story destroyer inside the story. Huh. Well, I haven't played that specific entry of Sonic, but huh. That sounds interesting, actually. What could that mean? A witch again? What about where it says their lives were consumed by in its flames? Look, let us cast our minds back to what Espella said in London. I seem to recall her mentioning that those witches had followed her from Labyrinthia. It's good that you have it. The controls are kind of funky. Okay, I'll have to take your word for it, my friend. So that would mean that the witches we saw in London really were from this town. The witch in this story, do you think she's the one from before? It's still too early to say, but at any rate, this seemingly prophetic story is rather disturbing. Secret Rings is okay. Okay. It seems to be divisive then. I only came here to see Inquisitor Barham, and this story is what I get. Oh my, what bad luck this is. Oh no, things have been so peaceful and now the witch is to strike once again. What a fearful world we live in. What a horrible story. I can't stay here any longer. I am heading straight back to the market stall, where I can be with my lovely little goats. Well, it seems that what's written here is indeed the reason for all this unrest. It's definitely a little ominous, but it's only a story, isn't it? It's precisely because it's a story that we're also afraid. Don't you even know that much? Without fail, whenever that witch appears, somebody dies. And if what you say is true, there's no reason to be afraid. After all, it's just a story. It's hardly going to become a reality. What are you saying? Yes, what do you mean by that? Huh? You're not implying that we don't believe in the story, are you? No, no, no. No, 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 no! You'll get your comeuppance for this! We just broke their fourth wall, and they cannot believe it. It reminds me of the time I found out that I'm a cartoon character designed and rigged by someone for the sake of the entertainment of an online internet audience. It's kinda messed up when you think about it. Hey, you two! What's the fuss all about? Nothing. We're not making a fuss. What is it? Is something the matter? Captain, it's these two, sir. They're creating a bit of a disturbance. Well, well, well. It's you two. Causing trouble again, are you? Captain. These two here are claiming that the story won't become a reality. How can they say such a thing? What's that? This simply can't be. You claim that you don't believe what the storyteller writes? Could it be that you too? No, it couldn't be. A moment ago, they were claiming to have seen a witch. Honestly, that's what they were saying. Look, there are two of them. They could be the two in the story. The pair that gets killed by the witch. Well, they could be. Even if they're not, they must be. They must have something to do with the witch. Professor, this atmosphere is somewhat unsettling. It appears my original instincts regarding you two were indeed well-founded. You're clearly suspicious. Men, surround them. Uh-oh. Easy, Luke. But Professor, this isn't good. Perhaps we should make a run for it. Agreed. But running off blindly in any old direction is unlikely to prove successful. We're too unfamiliar with the streets of this town. Oi, I wouldn't think of running if I were you. Just give up peacefully. Professor... Mr. Layton, look! Both of you, over here. That voice. Hang on, isn't that... The voice came from that back street over there. Come on, Luke, let's run. Okay, Professor. Oi, wait, come back here. After the men, they're getting away. Yes, sir, Captain. As I thought, it really was you, Espella. But why? Why are you... Shh, I'll spell later. Please just wait here quietly. Right. Where are they? Which way did they go? Captain, we seem to have lost them. What? They must still be here somewhere. Find them. It appears we've managed to elude them, but what now? We can't stay here. They're bound to find us sooner or later. Let's move somewhere else. If we keep to the back streets, we should be able to reach the square without being seen. Follow me. Okay, we're in your hands. Come on, this way, and keep quiet. We traveled quite the distance. That was rather too close for comfort. It seems you rescued us this time. Look at this shit, man. It looks like a freaking VTuber collab of a game mod that you just downloaded. It looks like a ROM hack. Ah! I'm trying to get used to it, Maggie. It was nothing. I'm just glad that we were both able to get away safely. But what are you both doing here in Labyrinthia? I'd like to ask you the same question. What about you, Espella? What happened? What happened after we separated in London? I remember you jumping aboard the cargo vessel. Did you have any trouble getting away? Well, that is... So the Espella that Phoenix Wright was defending is... her... There's two of them now, huh? Okay. Easy now, Luke. We mustn't bombard Espella with questions like that. I'm sorry, Espella. No, I'm the one who should apologize. I'm afraid it's just not very clear. You have no reason to apologize, Espella. But when you say it's not very clear, what do you mean precisely? Well, to be honest, I seem to be unable to clearly recall what happened. Is that so? After we put you aboard the ship, we should have followed after you. But at any rate, I'm relieved to see that you're right now. Yes, I am, thanks to you both. It's good that we could meet again like this. I'm so happy to see you here. You're right. We're both very happy too, aren't we, Professor? We certainly are, Luke. Let me guess. You both came here to solve the puzzles of Labyrinthia, didn't you? Well, yes, something like that, right, Professor? Actually, the truth of the matter is, we don't really know why we're here. It seems as if, well, it's almost as if we've been sucked into, right into that book's story. Sucked into the story? If it's okay with you, Espella, I'd like to ask you some questions about Labyrinthia. We can't really settle down here for a chat, can we? Those knights might find us again. We'll need somewhere to lay low for a while. Oh, I know. If it's alright with you two. Yes? For now, Mrs. Eclair, the local bread maker, is kindly putting me up in her shop. If you don't mind, you're welcome to come to my room. I'm afraid it's only an attic room, so it's a little small. Really? I mean, are you sure that's okay? If they were to find us there, wouldn't that mean trouble for everyone at the shop? Not at all, you shouldn't even think like that. After all, it was you two who rescued me in London, wasn't it? So if there's anything I can do, you must let me help in whatever way I can. Espella, thank you. Allow us to graciously accept your kind offer. Okay, let's make our way there while keeping an eye out for those knights. The Vicarage is on the eastern side of town. I guess we have an objective now. The town of Labyrinthia is a mysterious place of witches and witchcraft, where everything written by the storyteller becomes reality. Labyrinthia is a world in which the people live in fear of witches and witchcraft, and where knights are their only protection. Okay. We are gonna call it a day for now, because we have hit our usual 2-hour mark, but honestly, now that Layton is back, things are picking up again a little. It's almost like the story it's advancing further whenever we're with Layton. But anyway, we're gonna call it a day for now. Thank you everybody for watching, of course. It's been a pleasure to stream for you all. And I truly hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your week. I'll hope to see you in the next one, everybody. And again, take care. Thank you to the patrons for their monthly support, of course. It's always appreciated. And without further ado, it has been a pleasure to stream for all of you. And I hope to see you in the next one. And I'll see you, Space Cowboy. Bang.
I was cooling in the motel for a minute. Love ones that I won't tell how I'm living. Now I'm in the woods, trailer park, staying hidden. In the rap game, slashing through a million minions. IRL is lame cause I'm broke in Virginia. Surrounded by the slimy cold-blooded, they amphibians. I ain't dark as I was, hit the amphibian. Pulled a beat katana out, then the slaughterhouse. I was hired cause you talking loud, starting drumming out. I got fired cause I understood what they talking about. So I fight them cause I understand all they trauma now. In the woods, smoking on some woods, game me feeling good, but it's great. Can escape my fate, would if I could. Awesome LBs, for these LBs I had to hustle. Desperately trying to find paradise through this desperate struggle. Wanna kill and be killed, it's the way that I'm living. Throw my life away, but I had to hide my feelings. Trying to stack LBs straight to the ceiling.